tonight we have Marinol and Hold My Beer coming on the show. I am quite excited about this one. It should be good, especially with we've got loads to talk about. We've got to talk about INTZ. We'll go all the way back to that. Then we'll come forward to Space Station Gaming. We'll also go back to the origins of Space Station Gaming, because Hold My Beer has been there for a while. And there they are on the screen, Marinol and Hold My Beer. Slightly smaller, sorry, I've had to make you a little bit smaller. So sorry about that. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Beer, I've tried a couple of times to get you on, so we finally got to a point where I've been able to get you on, so that's awesome. Tried to rope you into the charity stream, but unfortunately just too much going on, so thank you for coming on now. Guys, you can say hello now. Hello.
No problem, man. Thanks for having us.
It's like a delay. Happy days. Yeah, we've got loads of people in the chat. I don't know if you guys have got the stream on, but there's we've got Kronk, Fishax, Halo Blade, Gabby, obviously, Sweeney Tuck, Night Wander. There's so many people in, so cool. Let's so we'll just get on with the sort of the chat. We always like to start with a similar sort of thing. For everyone, we're just going to do like some quickfire questions. The usual stuff. Get to know you. Get to know what you're all about. So, when did you guys start playing? What we'll do is we'll start with Marinol first. In fact, no, we won't. We'll start with Hold My Beer first, and that lets Marinol process. Because Marinol, I'm conscious that I'm speaking not just English, I'm speaking Scottish, and I'm a little bit excited, so I'm super fast, and so that gives you some processing time while while Beer answers, and then you can think about it. Okay, so we'll do it like that. I think that's fairer. So, Beer, when did you start playing Clash of Clans?
Beer started playing back in 2013, so a long time. I was a random player for many years and didn't get into the competitive community. I want to say till like 2015 to early 2016, something like that.
Cool, man. What about you, Marinol? How long have you been playing for?
I have been playing since 2014, 1 year later, after Beer started. And I think I started to play like seriously in a couple of months after I started. I like the game since the beginning. I'm very competitive and at the games that I play.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough. What is your favourite town hall, Beer?
Well, I'm a spammer, so I would say like Town Hall 9 was probably my favorite. I could actually triple on a competitive level at Town Hall 9, but after that, I'm not very good. So I'll go with Town Hall 9.
Fair enough. What about you, Marinol?
For me, it's Town Hall 10, I think, because it's a Town Hall that I'm very good at, and we won the World Championship in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marinol, you don't have to remind me about that one because they beat Lost Metagaming in the final. So.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he doesn't even remember. It's like you're just another person that he swatted out the way, Beer.
Beer wakes up with sweats remembering that war. Marinol tripled to win the whole thing. So.
That was good. I loved that series of competitions. So I think that's when I really got into the sort of the competitive side. I did the Town Hall 5 one, and I took one of my accounts is now sitting at Town Hall 9, and it bounced Town Hall 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And I don't think I used it in the Town Hall 9 competition. I couldn't get it maxed in a month. But I really liked that. I wish they'd bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Town Hall Cup series was one of the best things they did. It was like cool seeing like, you know, the guys from Queen Walkers, the Ints players, all of those guys like on just different Town Hall levels and just showing how good they all are at different Town Halls. Like just the true professionalism that they can bring out at every single Town Hall level. It's next level. I wish they would do that again.
We did. My team, we got rounded in the Town Hall 5 one, got knocked out in the second round by a Japanese team called Sushi, and they were so clinical, man. They were so good. It was just crazy how good they were. Anyway, sorry. That's what I do. I digress. What about your favourite strategy? What's your favourite strategy, Beer? What's your go-to?
I mean, beer's a spammer, so anything with Pekkas in there is my favorite strategy.
Nice. What about you, Marno?
Yeah, my favorite strategy is Lalo, Sui Lalo. I would
Suilalo.
like to use it. Yes.
It's so strong at the moment as well for people that can use it. Not me. I can't use it. And where did your name come from? It's like a standard question I ask people, but I think I can kind of guess with both of them. But hold my beer. Is there a story behind your name?
I mean, sort of. I mean, I was always like the worst player on my competitive team. Like I've always been better at managing than actually playing. So like the whole saying of like hold my beer was kind of like just me going into raid because you never knew what was going to happen once I hit attack. So that kind of like where my name came from. It's interesting though because once I had got into the competitive scene on like a management level, many people thought that I was the hold my beer from the old Jake videos with the one hive, but in fact I am not. I'm not a good player. So
okay. I thought you were okay. So two different people. There you go.
they are
Marno,
correct.
Marno, what
Correct.
about you then? Is it just
my
your name?
no my nickname came from when I was a kid. I was learning English, but I didn't knew how to pronounce the words, so I just pronounced some sentence wrongly. Then people started to call me about what I pronounce. So they started call me Marinaul back in my English classes. I think I had like 11 or 12 years old. So I started to use this nickname in all the games that I play.
I mean, I genuinely thought that was your actual name. There you go. So there we go. We've all learnt something new. That's cool. That's awesome. Your name came from
Brazilian
Boolean.
children out there named Marinaul now, I guarantee it.
Yeah, definitely. Guys in the chat, thank you for all the follows. I'm sorry I'm ignoring all the follows and all the chat is flying along, but thank you. I can't understand most of it, to be honest. There's a lot of Portuguese in there. Mara Jade is in, so Mara was very excited, Marinaul. Marinaul, do you know Mara? Everyone knows Mara. Mara. Mara's a big fan of basically the two favourite people are on my stream. So yeah, she feels exposed. Mara, you have just written in chat. I'm going to name my firstborn Marinaul. So, I named my firstborn. It's already happened. So there you go. Anyway, right. Let's move on. Solo Masters, Marinaul, yesterday. Congratulations, absolutely brilliant. That was just, I loved that whole series and everything. Was it a nice feeling winning?
Yeah.
I
like that. I liked a lot the competition. I like to hit in multiple accounts and do a lot of hits per war. So for me it was very good.
Yeah, I loved the concept. Now, there was something, I was watching the final, and there was a lot of chat going on, mainly from Stars fans, let's face it, saying Marinaul is less exciting, he's a boring player. It's like, was you had maybe less creative approaches, so there was a prize, just to give an idea, there was a prize every war for a creative, like the viewer voted best attack, most creative attack. And that was Carbonfin trying to encourage some sort of variety in the attacks. Now, you did use different strategies. It's not that you weren't being creative, but so do you think, I suppose the first thing is, do you think that's a fair accusation? And was your focus more on winning the war than winning that bonus money?
No, it's just my style. I like to play this way since the beginning, since I started playing. I take wars very very seriously. So for me, I just want to do good attacks and win.
Yeah, and hey, it worked out. You got all the way through and won the final as well. So yeah, fair enough, man. Congratulations. Beer, did you watch the videos at all? The live streams at all? Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was nice to see Nick and Lexnos get as far as they did, and then of course Marinaul win the whole thing. That was a great representation for Space Station and the talent level we have on our team.
I loved the face cams. I think they added an extra level, especially the guys that really played to the face cams as well. There was one point when Stars just wandered off in the middle of the stream, which kind of threw Carbonfin out, I think. They just wandered off and then came back. But yeah, I really liked that sort of concept. And just the way that he ran the whole thing, I don't know, like we had these little hype videos put through. It was like a proper show. I think when you compare it to some of the... we've got quite a lot of like esports shows going on at the moment, like Mobile Open and the Eura and, you know, like the NACC stuff and all that, with these sort of like quite well produced shows, and Carbonfin's sitting doing it on his own and just hitting a couple of buttons and bouncing to like the next scene and doing all this stuff out. And from a streamer point of view and how complicated I find just setting up this scene, I was quite impressed with it.
Yeah.
He did well, for sure.
Happy days. What have we got next? Sorry, I've lost my notes. There we go. There we are.
No worries.
So, Beer, managing Space Station Gaming. So you've already mentioned sort of, we find this quite a lot with the guys that do managing. They move into managing because they enjoy the game and they enjoy the competitive scene, but you get quite a lot of managers say, I'm not very good at the game. Are you actually quite good, but you're just not as good as like the guys in SSG? Or... what made you get into that sort of managing side of things?
Let me answer first if I'm good at the game. The answer to that question is not that great. I'm reminded by former Space Station Gaming players from time to time that I'm not a good player. Most recently, a guy named Riffit called me out for one starring in the last World Tournaments. But you know what? Like, you know, I wanted to play for fun. I had fun, and unfortunately, I one starred and we lost. But what's interesting is I do play in some random clans that are not Space Station with like some of my other accounts just to have fun and mess around with lower town hall levels. And the skill level between the competitive scene and like just playing in random clans is like unbelievable. I'm actually really good in those clans, and they're like, think I'm a god at Lalo, and I wouldn't even think about Laloing in a competitive war. So it's fun to just play in those levels. But as far as like, do I enjoy the game at a competitive level? The answer is no. Like, I'm not very good. I played in the Mobile Open and did okay, but I don't find it enjoyable because I just know my skill level isn't lower Marinol, Nick, Lex, and those guys are at to enjoy the game and be competitive. Now, as far as like managing, I started with actually something back in the day, which was an old school CWL clan. We played CWL, MLCW, those kind of leagues back in the day. And we joined a family of clans called Lost Meta that had had actually something, Elite of Valor, Bad Intentions. These are a lot of old school Clash names, and the Holy Cronut. And the leader of the Holy Cronut, Gum, who is also still with me, him and I decided during Lost Meta times to, you know, they rolled out the Town Hall Cups, and we just saw that the future of the game was going to be with the esports side of it. The 30v30s, the 40v40s, the 24-hour wars, those were things of the past, and the game was just transitioning to a different war scene and things like that. So we moved on to Lost Meta Gaming, and at that time it was just myself and Gum that were running that. And we did fairly well. I mean, we did the Town Hall Cups. We lost to Marinol, unfortunately, in the Town Hall 10 final. But we made the semifinals and then Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 11, and we did fairly well. Well enough that we decided to try to shop ourselves around to see if we could find a sponsor. And big shout out to Ash and to Powerbang. We had a nice conversation with them, and they pushed us along to Unit and Shonduras at Space Station, and we had a deal. And now we're going on to our second year of having a Space Station as our flagship.
Space Station only been 2 years?
Yeah, this is our second year. We were Lost Meta Gaming in 2019, Space Station in 20 and 21.
I honestly thought Space Station had been... You just feel like... Space Station just feels like a part of the sort of... I suppose a lot has happened in those couple of years in terms of the evolution of the worlds and all that. But I just thought that SSG had been around for a long time. But yeah, that's... it's just when you realize, you look back and think, oh, it's not actually been that long. Yeah.
Yeah, the company itself's been around. I mean, they're a large esports company. Obviously, we're just a small part of them, but They've been around forever, but we've only been in actual Clash of Clans for 2 years.
Cool. Happy days. And do you still enjoy playing though, yeah?
I enjoy playing at the random level, not the competitive
level. The farm wars.
The farm wars, those are fantastic.
I dip my toes in occasionally into competitive stuff, and then I feel so much pressure and feel terrible when I don't do a very good hit. Yeah. Marinaull, we're going to come back to you now, and obviously you're part of SSG, but you have not been with SSG for very long. One of the 3 high-profile moves that happened at the start of the year. Can we go back right at the start, though? You're part of INTZ, obviously, before that. Can we talk about why did INTZ split, or what happened there? Can you just give us some background? Because it kind of came out of the blue a little bit.
Yeah. Last year, our main goal was to reach the World Championship. We lost the last war against Queen Walkers on percentage. Or we had percentage, but we lost by a star. And after the loss, the team got a little demotivated because we gave all to reach the worlds. It was a very stressful year. So after, I think Renan left to finish his studies, and short after Lupe left also. So we didn't continue with INTZ because I didn't have time to get a new group and to represent the organization very well. So, and I also had this idea to play for another organization that was out of Brazil in 2021. That's why I reached SSG.
So did you approach SSG?
Yeah, I think Gabi talked to Beer. I'm not too sure. Okay. Then Beer talked to me, and for me it was very good because I needed a team that spoke English as their main language, so I can communicate very well. So for me, and also SSG was a very strong organization.
Yeah, and
I was very happy to join them.
And SSG had, just before you arrived on the scene, had just recruited Nick and Lex as well, Beer. I don't know, do you want to talk about that as well?
Yeah.
What was that process like?
Okay.
So, with Tribe making some moves, we actually had Kronos on our team last year who Tribe decided to go all German, and so he moved from SSG to Tribe, at which point left Lex and Nick in kind of in limbo with Tribe going all German. And being that they were North American and we had the Mobile Open and we had played with them before in some other tournaments, it was just an easy move for everyone involved, like having a conversation with them. And, they obviously wanted to stay in the competitive scene, and in an English-speaking clan, there was really nobody else better out there than Space Station Gaming at the time. And so, we talked to them and it worked out, and we actually thought we had our team together. And like Marinaull said, Gabby reached out to me, and I'm like, well, I guess the team's not completely together. Yeah, we have to make some moves again, which is the hardest thing as a manager. But, to bring a player in like Marinaull was, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We're going to, and we'll bounce back just quickly back to you, Marinaull. How are you enjoying sort of adjusting to Space Station Gaming? Are you settling well? It's been a few months now.
Yeah, I'm very happy to play for the organization. The team is very strong. We did well at the first qualifiers, and it's a little different from what I used to do at INTZ, because at INTZ I had this kind of leadership, so I organize things a lot more. In that SSG, I just focusing on doing my things and help if possible. But they gave me a lot of room to just focus at my hits. I don't have to plan a lot like I used to do at INTZ.
Is that a lot better?
Yeah. For me, individually is very good.
No, that's cool. That's happy days. Beer,
ironically that you say, Mac, if you don't mind me jumping in, ironically you say that, like, Lexnos had the same issue with Tribe, so he was very happy to come on board with us, where we had a strong management team with Gum and myself and James and Joel, that he could just play the game. And I think that's what Marinaul's trying to say. Like, he can just play the game and just worry about what he's doing and not have to worry about like leagues and matches coming up and things like that, where it's much easier for a player to be able to be part of our organization and just play the game and worry about like themselves and not everything else going on around them.
Yeah. The manager sort of role, we've had a couple of different managers on. The team manager role has sort of come into the game quite a lot recently. There's a lot of managers kicking about, of varying degrees of ability, I think we'll call it, and probably varying degrees of involvement, because you're in charge, aren't you? Is that fair to say? Or who's in charge?
I mean, there's a lot behind me. I mean, I may be the face of Space Station, but it wouldn't happen without the people behind me. There's, like I said before, Joel and Gum. Joel's actually built some bots for us where we can track some stats and things like that on the back end. Gum has always been the voice of reason. I tend to make quick decisions sometimes, and I need just people to bounce it off of, and him and James are there. And one of the pluses, I mean, Gabby came along with Marinaul, and Gabby has helped me run a couple of the leagues. And like you said, was various degrees of success with some other managers out there. As your clan grows and you become more well known, one of the more difficult things is you get invited to more and more events, and you get into 4, 5, 6 events, and now you're scheduling 6, 7 wars a week, and it's a juggling act. And I don't think any serious professional team can really do it with the players doing that anymore. There's just too much that they need to do as far as managing their bases and working on metas and things like that. So, I mean, I appreciate the shout out to Beer, but the reality is it wouldn't happen without Gabby and the other people behind us.
So we've got a guy called Fishax in the chat as well, Beer. He's insisting that he is the face of Space Station Gaming. So we shout out there to Fishax. I don't know who Fishax is, but I'm sure you know him. So
I do. Fish is one of our OP builders.
Ah, nice. Happy days. So Space Station Gaming. Let's talk about performance side of things. I hold my hands up. I've been pretty critical of you guys because I was so excited by this lineup. Of you already had a brilliant team, and then you bring in Marinaul and Nick and Lex. Has it taken a while to gel? Because I feel that in some leagues you haven't maybe performed as strongly as people would have hoped, or is it that there's just more expectation around you guys? What is it? I don't know who wants to answer on that one. How do you guys feel you're doing?
I mean, I can let Marinaul answer, and I'll tell you from a management level what I think too. So
go on then, Marinaul. From a player's perspective, how's it feeling?
Yeah, I think the result of the first qualifier that we played was what we were expecting, of course, but we did well. We reached, I think, 3rd.
Yeah.
So we had a very good pre-qualifier. The team went very well, but when we played the qualifiers, we didn't play our best. We got a little unlucky also at some hits, but I think the team is good enough to reach Worlds if we focus on that.
Yeah, so I think you guys clicked at that Worlds weekend. Has the focus for the past few months been building up to this Worlds weekend, or the May qualifiers, and is that so? Did you take your eye off some of the other community things? Because so if you look at the NACC, for example, you guys are okay, it's only a few weeks in, but I'd expect Space Station Gaming in the top half of that league, and you're not there. Is the focus just the priority being Worlds, or... Sorry, I'm being really harsh on it. Your performance on the weekend was brilliant. Go for it, Beer. Sorry, this is the hardest question I've ever asked.
I mean, the NACC results, and I mean, it's interesting that you brought that up, because I made a comment after I think we were 0-2, or maybe 0-3, 0-2, that, I mean, it's an interesting format that it's 17 weeks of play, and I think that in those 17 weeks, there's 4 world tournaments in it.
Yeah.
So to expect everyone to be on for every single war and care a ton about that league, unfortunately, I don't think is there. We're happy to be in it. It's some of the best competition in the world, and it's always good to practice against some of the best competition in the world. But the length of the league, honestly, like, I don't think the players get as excited every week when they know it's just week 4 of 17 weeks.
Right, yeah.
So we didn't do very well. We had a little bit of a conversation. I think we're 2-3 now. I suspect, I mean, we'll finish above 500 when the season's all said and done. But during that same time period, let's not forget that we came into the prize money in Eurat. We came in second place at the Stephanie's Cup out of some of the best teams in the world. And we also came in second place with Lexnos, this tournament, which, again, was also the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at a format when there's 8 to 16 of the best teams in the world, and we came in second twice, I mean, I can't really be that upset about the NACC results. Would I like us to be 5-0? Sure, I'm sure Marinaul would too, but it's not the end-all be-all. Our concentration is on Worlds. Our focus is on Worlds, and, you know, NACC is nice, but it's just another league and tournament.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I suspected that was the case. You could see from the way that everything seemed to gel from the day 2 of the pre-qualifier, and then for the qualifier weekend as well. That's cool. So you've got 8, 9, possibly 10 very strong players, Beer. How do you pick who plays where? How does that happen? Did the players decide that? Is that on you? How did that come about? How did the team that went for it? Yeah, you know what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I do. I mean, to be honest, I almost retired at the end of last year, and I'll say right now that 2021 is likely my last year in the competitive scene as a manager. It's time to move on. I have a family and a small child now, and I've loved the ride, but it's what I'm about to get into. It's just too much. During the off season, I mean, what you said is true, and I would say our number's higher than that. I think you said we have 8 or 9 good players. I would argue to say we have 17 or 18 good players.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's, you know, for the North American community, we had 3 of the 8 teams that are in the Mobile Open Final. All 3 of them are our family of Space Station. It was very difficult to decide who was on the main roster this year for Space Station Gaming. And obviously with Marinaul coming in late, we had to make some on-the-fly changes. The roster at Train Station with Jethro and Peter is very, very good. And the roster at Lost Meta Gaming with Stamos and Halo and Fence are just doing fantastic things. And as an overall manager, I mean, each one of them are running themselves like their own organization. They are part of our group, and we do push each other to the best of each other's ability, try to help each other get ready for certain events and things like that, especially with Worlds coming up. We'll do some scrims to test bases and like that going into the event. But to actually pick the players, like it was difficult. I mean, this is the hardest hardest year I've ever had. Like, you know, it's a good problem to have so much talent in one place, but on the management side, like every one of them is good, and every one of them honestly could be probably the 5th player on Space Station, but there's just not enough spaces. And, you know, we did our best, and, you know, it's pushed me to the point where I think that I don't know if I could do another off season like this past year, and maybe it's time to focus on other things.
Is that an exclusive that has just been announced?
It's known within our group. It's known within our group, but I mean, it's not known like within the community. Correct.
That might be the YouTube video title.
It's okay. I have a 2-year-old son now, and it's been a great ride, and I've loved every moment of it, and I'm happy to actually get a chance to get to know Marinol and see him play in my final year in the competitive side. And I have no doubt that the team that we have in place is going to get a golden ticket this year, and I have no doubt that the team we have in Mobile Open is going to win Mobile Open, and the other 2 teams that are in there are going to be Lost Meta and Train Station right to the end. We have the best competitive players in North America. There's no doubt about it.
Do you think the North American scene is stronger than the European scene?
No.
No. Okay.
I would not say something. I would not say something that foolish, but what I will say is I think the North American scene is better than the Euro players give them credit for.
I see that rivalry bouncing around quite a lot, and so
it is. And you know what the funny thing is about that is if you look at the last Worlds of the teams that were in the final 16, I want to say like 5 or 6 were from the Asian community. 1 was Indian, 1 was from the Brazilian community, and then there was 3 North American and 4 Euros. So, I mean, they only had 1 clan more than we did in the final 16. So, I mean, are they deeper, 16, 20 teams? Sure. Are they better in the top 5? I mean, ATN and MCS are fantastic, but after that, I think Space Station can hang with any of those players. I mean, as well as Train Station and Volume Zero, and there's a lot of good teams in the North American that do not get credit.
Cool. Happy days. That question just bounced in there. So I was actually going to talk about the relationship between with Lost Meta Game and Train Station. You kind of covered that already. What about your team aims for 2021? Marinol, what are the aims for SSG?
Yeah, for us to basically reach worlds, I think, and to do well at the community leagues. But our main focus, of course, is to be there and play.
Is it to win it, or is it just to be there?
Well, let's first let's try to get there. After we can manage to win it.
One step at a time. Fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So 3rd place in May was nice. Probably because you've got MCS with the silver ticket at the moment. Probably going to wind up with a silver ticket based on that performance alone. Because I imagine MCS will be getting a golden ticket at some point. Are you trying to beat MCS to the golden ticket? Is June the aim for the golden ticket?
Yeah, we'll try to get the golden ticket as soon as possible, so nice. we can focus on preparing just for the Worlds.
Yeah, because once it's done, it's out the way, isn't it? Okay, Poos, we've got a couple of viewer questions coming in. There's a lot of chat going on at the moment, bouncing around. So if anyone wants to ask anything, then go for it. But you'll have to ask me in English, guys, because I cannot read Portuguese. I'm sorry. But I've got a couple of questions here. Biggest rivalry. Beer, what team have you got the biggest rivalry with?
I mean, so far in this early season, I would say MCES. I mean, they got the best of us in Worlds this past month. We did beat them in the Lexnos tournament. I believe we beat them in Eurat as well. And they beat us in Stephanie's, and then they beat us in the Worlds. So, I mean, on major events, obviously Worlds is the king of them all. Yeah. But we're 2-2 against them, and they handed it to us pretty well in the Worlds. So I would say if any major team out there right now would be MCS. We played them the most, and it's been very even back and forth, and it's always a good war against them. And I look forward to seeing how the rest of the year plays out with SSG versus MCS.
Yeah,
cool. Right, Marinol.
For me, it's the same. MCS. Since INTZ, we always play them a lot, and we won sometimes and lost sometimes. So the rivalry is very nice against them.
Okay, Marinol, but I've got a slight tweak on that question for you as well. Biggest rivalry player-wise. You've just done a 1v1. When you see a particular player hitting your base, are you like, yes? he's not gonna 3-me here? Or like, do you have a particular rivalry with, if you up against a particular team, is there a player you think, I want to hit that base, and then you look at the base after I definitely do that. Where if it's someone I know, I want to hit them. What player do you have the biggest rivalry with?
No, I don't think I have a rivalry against any player. I just focus on my hits and try to do what's best for the team.
Such a diplomat, Marinaull. So
yeah.
I was wanting some fire. I was like, I hate Loop.
Yeah, but
see, since Loop left INTZ, I want to smash his base every time. No, nothing like that. No, okay then, fair enough. What team? Oh, sorry, go for it, Marinaull.
Yeah,
sorry.
team for me is ATN. For me,
you read, that's it. What team do you fear the most? Is that ATN the big fear?
Yeah, ATM is a team that I recently had the most difficult playing against since INTZ, and now from SSG. We lost against them in the qualifiers, and with INTZ we lost last year also at the semifinals of the first qualifier. Both times at the first qualifier they got the golden ticket, winning against me in the semifinals. But in 2019 I won against them in the semifinals at Poland.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same team, but most of the players were playing for Dark Looters that time. But recently ATN is having having the best against me.
What about you, Beer? Are ATN the
I
team
mean,
you fear?
I think it's been proven ATN is the gold standard right now of any Clash organization, and it's going to be very, very difficult to beat them, but that's why we play this game. We strive to play the best. We want to play against the best, and if you're going to win this, you got to beat ATN, and it's going to be a very, very difficult road, but we're up for the challenge.
And do you think Linnaid leaving has changed the shape of alternate attacks, or is it still just a scary old beast?
Yeah, I think Linnaid is an excellent player, but the player that also I think will replace him, that is Mask.
Yeah,
he is also very good. I played with him at the Kezo Cup TH12. We won that competition, and he's a very good player, capable of playing for ATN very well.
cool. We've got some viewer questions coming in. Beer, I think there's some inside jokes coming in here. Jethro wants to know your thoughts on birds. Halo also wants to know this. Do you want to explain where that question's coming from?
I mean, bird watching goes both ways. Just read into it, man.
So, okay, cool. Not even
going to go too far into that. Just, birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real. What else have we got? I'm just scrolling back down. Douglas, Marinaull, people are asking me, how do you get a girl? Or asking you, not asking me. So, there's lots, I was saying before we came on, before the stream started, quite often people come into my stream just to tell me that they love Marinaull. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens.
Mate, you're so humble. It's awesome.
Marinaull's going to be on The Bachelor Brazil before you know it.
Yeah, maybe.
Happy days. I know that we have got, or you have got a meeting that you need to go to after this.
Sure.
So we're a little bit short of time.
A few more minutes.
Fish, okay, go on then. Fish is saying, ask Beer about game feel. See, I'm never sure if these are good questions or not. Do you want to get into that?
You know what? I will get into that. So
go on then.
As many people know, beer in the community, like I speak in third person on all Discord, and I confuse many people out there as to why I speak third person. This is a mobile game. We like to have fun, and there's a few things I like to have fun with, and speaking in third person is one of them. Talking about Game Fuel, which I have right here, is the other. It's an energy drink that is made for gamers, and it says it increases alertness and accuracy. Now, let me tell you something. I was drinking Game Fuel, and I one-starred at the last World, so I'm not sure that actually is true, is what it's saying about Game Fuel. And then the birds thing, I have fun on Discord. You know, if you can't log into Discord and have fun, it's not worth even getting on. I play more Discord than I do Clash of Clans.
So is your interest in birds where Stamos' headdress came from? At the middle of the night for me, I'm watching the mobile open, and there's Stamos appearing on screen with that big bird thing on his head.
Mac, I have to say, if you are new to our social server and you joined our lounge, you would wonder what the heck was going on there. I mean, Beer finds the weirdest stuff to talk about and brings it up in the lounge, and that's where a lot of these funny questions are coming from. Is just the nonsense that I like to talk about in there for my own personal entertainment. But in real life, I don't speak in third person. I think birds could be real, and I'm sure that Game Fuel doesn't do anything based on my performance.
It's all coming out now. Marinaul, you're getting a lot of abuse about your base building. When was the hole in the base for stars? Was that deliberate? Was that a bait that he didn't take, or was that just a mistake?
No,
that big old gap next to the town hall.
No, I just copied the base, but I don't have the 60 builder. So the 60 builder was supposed to be in that position, and I didn't notice that until the war started.
Jethro says 6 builder hut doesn't exist.
Yeah. But I'm farming the 60 builder. Should be at my base in maybe a couple of weeks.
And then we'll see that base again without the hole in it. Perfect. People will be checking that, watching it again, seeing if they can repeat Star's hit on it.
Yeah.
The 6 builder hut is owned by birds. I've got a serious question in the middle here as well. Clash of Style is asking what your favourite league is. I think that's quite interesting from a playing point of view. Obviously, we'll take the Worlds out of this. We've already talked about how the Worlds is the focus. But in terms of like community league, what one, Marinaul, do you enjoy playing in most? And Beer, what one do you find nice and sort of like just the smoothest running? So it's two different aspects there. Marinaul, do you want to go first?
Yeah, the league that I played that I liked it a lot was EWU. That we won the first edition and got in the finals of the second edition. Was a league that I had a good performance. So for me, I think it as a community league is this league.
Just really nice memories. That's fair enough. Beer, what do you think? What does Beer like best?
I mean, Beer thinks the answer is the same as Marinaul's, but I'll just go off a little bit on that because EWU, in my opinion, is the class of all community leagues, and hopefully Tomahawk comes around for a third run on that. Outside of that, though, I would say, and unfortunately we didn't fare too well in it because we just didn't play that well at war, but they just did a WHF Invitational, which I liked the format. It was just a 64 team, one single elimination event. I think what happens is, and we'll circle back to the beginning of our call here, is in some of these leagues where there's group play, like the clans just get unmotivated and they just don't really care in the group play. And so like people turn into a stream and they're like, oh, Space Station was terrible tonight. I mean, we're 3-0 in the group and we're playing a team that doesn't matter if we win or lose, and we're running bases that we're burnt. Like all competitive teams do that. and it's not good for viewership, and I don't think it's good for like any league. And I think the group stages are just, unless it's EWU, who I think does it a little bit differently. The rest of them is there's just too many teams in there that for group play for people to care. The WHF idea of the 64 single elimination was great. I mean, unfortunately, we just didn't play very well in the first round and we got first rounded, but you know, it happens.
It happens, and like you say, there's a lot of there's the focus is on Worlds at the moment, isn't it? So yeah, you take your eye off the ball, and then WHF is proper smooth from a streaming point of view as well. It's really, I think the fact they've only got 64 teams in there, it keeps it quite manageable. There's not too much going on. It's just here's a list of matches, and it's considering it's their first time doing it. They've hit it really nice and really smoothly.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job with like the format, and I think whoever's, you know, I think DL is one of their main guys that's running that. It's just doing a great job of like, you got really good teams into it, good format. And actually, I like the MPL 10v10. That was a little something different that they had. Hopefully, that comes back at some point.
Well,
especially for a group like Space Station, because you know, 10v10 we really excel in that because our depth is much better than most organizations when you get into like a 10v10 format.
Well, you know, there's always the old 20v20 family feud ran by me, you know, if you ever want something fun. But, you know, anyway.
that sounds like chaos. I'll tell you, an MPL 10v10 is hard enough to coordinate in 1 hour.
It's so much fun. People love it. It's 20v20, but it's 2 hours long. And so I'm on like a sales pitch now. Here we go. Mara has just announced something. Short format 10v10 called the Mara Cup. There we go. Awesome. Mara announcing it here. She's going to run another 10v10. That's good. We need a competition with Mara's name on it. That's brilliant. There we go. So Space Station Gaming, sign up for that? Yeah? Not really named it. You are now, Mara. We've named it. Mara's saying she's not naming it Mara Cup. It is the Mara Cup. That's what's
the MARINAUL Cup? Okay, I guess we have to
the MARINAUL Cup. Right. Mara, Space Station Gaming will sign up if you call it the MARINAUL Cup. Sorted. There you go. Happy days. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a good time. You're more than welcome on whenever you want. MARINAUL, I'm sorry I spoke so quickly and so Scottish. You did well understanding my just me. And Beer, thank you so much. Cheers for coming on. Man. We've got the chat's still going well, but I don't think there's any more questions coming in. And you said you had a meeting at 4 and it's now 4:05, so you better go with that meeting. Right. So thank you so much, guys. And everyone in the chat, thank you for the follows. Thank you for being here, and see you next time. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you.